Hello everyone, and welcome. If you are over 60 and you have become profoundly frustrated with that stubborn, dangerous fat around your middle, that just won't seem to leave, no matter what you try, I want you to take a deep breath. You are in the right place. The title of this video makes a very bold promise, and I intend to keep it. We're not talking about a magic pill or a gimmick, we are talking about a fundamental 30-day shift in your approach that is specifically designed for your body right now. After 60. This is not the same advice you'd give a 25-year-old. Your body has different needs, different challenges, and frankly, it requires a smarter, more targeted strategy. What we are going to lay out today is precisely that strategy. This isn't just about looking better in your clothes, it's about buying you decades of healthy, active life. It's about shrinking the single most dangerous type of fat in your body, visceral fat. First, we must understand the enemy. Before we talk about how to get rid of it, we have to be crystal clear on what it is. That stubborn fat on your belly is actually two different types of fat. Just beneath your skin, all over your body, is subcutaneous fat. This is the pinchable face stuff. It's the fat you can grab. And while most of us don't love it, it is, from a purely metabolic standpoint, relatively harmless. But that is not what we are here to talk about. We are talking about its evil twin. Visceral fat. This fat is completely different. You can't see it, you can't pinch it. It's a hidden fat. It's located deep inside your abdominal cavity, and its job is to wrap itself around your vital organs, your liver, your pancreas, your intestines, your heart. It's not soft and squishy, it's a firm, metabolically active, and incredibly dangerous tissue. Why is it so dangerous? Because it doesn't just sit there. Visceral fat is an active endocrine organ. It is a little fat-producing factory that pumps out a whole host of inflammatory compounds and harmful chemicals directly into your system. It actively promotes a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout your entire body. This inflammation is the root cause of so many of the diseases we associate with aging. Visceral fat is directly linked to a terrifying list of health problems. It dramatically increases your risk of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and even certain types of cancer and dementia. It's the primary driver of insulin resistance, which is the gateway to metabolic syndrome. So when your doctor says, "Faye, we need to work on that belly fat," Faye, they aren't being critical of your appearance. They are looking at a red flag, a warning sign that a serious internal problem is brewing. Shrinking this isn't a vanity project, it is an act of profound self-preservation. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Why does this seem to be an uphill battle, especially after 60? You're not imagining it. Your body has changed. First, we have to contend with hormonal shifts. For women post-menopause, the drop in estrogen causes the body to change how it stores fat, shifting it from the hips and thighs directly to the abdomen as visceral fat. For men, a gradual decline in testosterone, which helps maintain muscle mass, also encourages the storage of fat around the middle. Both men and women find themselves dealing with a metabolic double whammy. Second, we are fighting against sarcopenia. This is the natural, age-related loss of muscle mass. Starting around age 30, we can lose 3 to 8% of our muscle mass per decade if we do nothing. By the time we're 60 and 70, this process can accelerate. Why does this matter for visceral fat? Because your muscle tissue is your primary metabolic engine. It's the main place you burn calories, even at rest. As you lose that precious, active muscle, your resting metabolic rate, the number of calories your body burns just to stay alive, plummets. This means that the portion of food you've eaten your entire life, the one that used to be normal, is now a surplus, and your body, especially with the hormonal signals we just discussed, is programmed to store that surplus in the most dangerous place possible. As visceral fat. The final piece of this puzzle, and perhaps the most important, is our old friend. Cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and in our modern, 24/7, high anxiety world, many of us are marinating in it. Chronic stress, poor sleep, and constant worry keep our cortisol levels elevated. And cortisol has one primary, primitive instruction when it comes to fat storage. It signals your body to take any available energy and store it specifically as visceral fat in the abdomen. It's an ancient survival mechanism. Stress used to mean famine or danger, but in our world, it's just a recipe for disease. So, when you combine hormonal shifts, muscle loss, and chronic stress, you create the perfect storm for visceral fat accumulation. The old advice of Faye, just eat a little less and move a little more, Faye, is laughably simplistic, and frankly, insulting. It doesn't work. It's like trying to put out a forest fire with a water pistol. We need a targeted, multi-pronged attack, and that is what this 30-day plan is. It is not a diet. It is a 30-day protocol to fundamentally switch off the signals that tell your body to store this fat, and switch on the signals that tell your body to burn it. The fastest way, Faye, is not about one single thing. It is about the synergy of 3 key pillars. executed consistently for 30 days. These are targeted nutritional intervention, metabolically active movement, hormonal regulation. Let's break down the first and most critical pillar, the targeted nutritional intervention. For 30 days, we are not going to fade in the traditional sense. We are not counting every calorie. We are not starving ourselves. In fact, a huge mistake people over 60 make is eating too little, especially too little of the right things, which further slows their metabolism. Instead, we are going to focus on changing the type of information we give our bodies. The number one rule for these 30 days is protein priority. This is the single most important nutritional shift you can make. As we've discussed, you are fighting sarcopenia to preserve, and even build, the muscle you have. You must give it the building blocks it needs. Protein is also the most satiating macronutrient. It makes you feel full and satisfied, which kills cravings. For 30 days, your goal is to have a significant source of high-quality protein with every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What does this look like? It looks like eggs or Greek yogurt in the morning. It looks like a large portion of chicken, fish, or legumes on your salad at lunch. It looks like a palm-sized piece of salmon tofu, or lean beef at dinner. You will be amazed at how much less snacky and fagry you feel when you are properly fueled with protein. This is non-negotiable. The second rule is fiber is your friend, specifically, soluble fiber. Soluble fiber, found in things like oats, apples, beans, nuts, and seeds, does something magic. It forms a gel in your digestive system which slows down digestion. This slowing down process is critical because it buffers the body's response to sugar and carbohydrates, preventing the sharp blood sugar and insulin spikes that are a direct signal to store fat. Visceral fat is exquisitely sensitive to insulin. When insulin is high, your fat burning stoves are turned off. By managing those spikes with fiber, you keep insulin low and allow your body to access its fat stores for energy. The third rule is fear fat no more. We are part of a generation that was told fat makes you fat. That was, and is, one of the most destructive nutritional myths in history. The low-fat craze of the 80s and 90s led us to replace healthy fats with sugar, refined grains, and processed chemicals, and it is a direct contributor to the epidemic of obesity and type 2 diabetes we see today. Healthy fats do not make you fat. In fact, they are essential for hormone production, for absorbing vitamins, and for making you feel full. For 30 days, you will embrace healthy fats. We're talking about avocados, olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish like salmon. These fats are anti-inflammatory. They are the opposite of visceral fat. You will use olive oil for your dressings. You will have a handful of almonds as a snack. You will add avocado to your salad. Now, what we've added is just as important as what we will. For 30 days, remove. This is the fastest part of the equation. For this 30-day protocol to work, you must aggressively cut off the fuel supply to your visceral fat. There are two main culprits. Culprit number 1, sugar, especially in liquid form. This is your primary target. For 30 days, you will aim to eliminate all sodas, juices, sweetened coffees and teas, and desserts. Sugar is a direct deposit into your liver which, when overwhelmed, converts that sugar into fat, specifically, visceral fat. You must read labels. Sugar hides in everything: ketchup, salad dressings, pasta sauces. For 30 days, become a detective. If it has added sugar, it's out. Culprit number 2, refined carbohydrates. We're talking about white bread, white pasta, white rice, bagels, cereals, and pastries. These foods have been stripped of their fiber and nutrients, and they behave exactly like sugar in your bloodstream. They cause a massive insulin spike, which, as we know, is the store fat signal. For 30 days, you will swap these. Instead of white bread, you can have a slice of dense, seeded rye bread. Instead of white rice, you have quinoa, or brown rice. But for the most part, we want to replace these refined carbs with more vegetables and more of that high-quality protein and fat. If this information is already starting to click, if you're starting to feel a sense of hope that there is, in fact, a plan, I would be so grateful if you could take a quick second to hit that like button. It's a small click for you, but it tells YouTube that this information is valuable, and it helps get this message out to other people. Other folks over 60, who might be feeling just as stuck and frustrated as you've been. If you really want to stay on this journey, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are in this together. So that's pillar 1, protein, fiber, and fat in, sugar, and refined carbs out. Now, for pillar 2, metabolically active movement. Notice I did not say exercise. I did not say go to the gym. I did not say run a marathon. For many people over 60, the gym is intimidating, and high-impact exercise is a recipe for injury. The fastest way to burn visceral fat is not necessarily the hardest workout. It's the smartest and most consistent one. Your 30-day movement plan has two parts. The first part is NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is a fancy term for all the movement you do that isn't formal exercise. It's walking, taking the stairs, gardening, cleaning the house, fidgeting. This, my friends, is the most underrated fat-burning tool on the planet. For 30 days, your goal is to simply move more. Get a simple pedometer, or use the health app on your phone. Your first goal is just to see what your baseline is. Is it 2,000 steps? Great. For this 30-day plan, your goal is to add to that. Aim for 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day. This doesn't have to happen all at once. A 15-minute walk after breakfast, a 15-minute walk after lunch, and a 15-minute walk after dinner. This gentle, consistent movement, especially after meals, does wonders for controlling your blood sugar and insulin response. It keeps you in a fat-burning state all day long. The second part of our movement plan, and this is absolutely critical, is resistance training. You must do this. We are fighting sarcopenia. Remember, we are fighting to keep our metabolic engine, our muscle. You do not need a gym. You do not need heavy weights. You can start right in your living room, twice or 3 times a week, for 20 minutes. What does this look like? It looks like body weight squats, where you practice sitting down into a sturdy chair and standing back up, without using your hands. Try to do 10 repetitions. It looks like wall push-ups, where you stand a few feet from a wall and push yourself away. It looks like lunges, holding onto a counter for balance. You can buy a set of simple resistance bands online for less than $20 and do bicep curls, shoulder presses, and rows. The goal here is not to get bulky. The goal is to send a signal to your body that this muscle is needed. This signal tells your body to preserve that muscle tissue, and in doing so, it keeps your metabolism high. A body with more muscle is a body that burns visceral fat, even when it's sleeping. Finally, we arrive at pillar 3, hormonal regulation. This is the hidden accelerator. You can have the perfect diet, and the perfect movement plan. But if you are chronically stressed and sleep deprived, you will be fighting an uphill battle. You will be clamping your body's ability to shed visceral fat, because you'll be swimming in cortisol. So, for these 30 days, we must declare war on our stress, and prioritize our sleep. First, sleep. This is when your body repairs itself, regulates its hormones, and manages inflammation. Poor sleep, less than 7 hours a night, has been directly shown to increase visceral fat storage. For 30 days, you will practice good sleep hygiene. This means turning off the news and electronic screens at least an hour before bed. Make your room as dark and as cool as possible. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This consistency trains your body's natural rhythm. Do not underestimate this. Sleep is not a luxury, it is a metabolic necessity. Second, stress management. You cannot eliminate stress from your life, but you can change your response to it. For 30 days, you must find a 10-minute window each day to actively de-stress. This could be a guided meditation app, it could be deep breathing exercises. It could be sitting quietly with a cup of tea, listening to music, or journaling. It could be getting outside in nature. Whatever it is, this practice is as important as your protein intake. It is the active process of lowering your cortisol. When you lower cortisol, you take your foot off the face-door visceral fat pedal. You are telling your body that it is safe, that there is no famine, and that it is okay to let go of these dangerous emergency fat stores. So let's put this all together. What does the 30-day protocol look like? Week 1, the foundation and audit. Your only job in week 1 is to do 2 things. First, get your nutrition right. Focus on protein, fiber, and fat at every meal, and brutally eliminate the liquid sugar and refined carbs. Just this one step will make a huge difference. Second, get your step tracking baseline and just start walking. A 10-minute walk after each meal. That's it. Don't overwhelm yourself. Week 2, the build up. Continue with the nutrition. Now, you will formally add in your movement. You will consciously hit your 8,000 step goal. And you will schedule your first 2 20-minute resistance training sessions. Just start. Use your chair, use the wall, and this week, you start your 10-minute a day stress management practice. Week 3, consistency and optimization. This is where the magic happens. You're in the groove. The nutrition is becoming second nature. The cravings for sugar are starting to fade. Your walk is becoming a habit. Your resistance training is making you feel stronger. This week, your focus is 100% on sleep. You will dial in your sleep hygiene. You'll set your power down alarm for an hour before bed. Week 4, the acceleration. You've been doing this for 21 days. You are already feeling different. Your clothes are looser. You have more energy. Your digestion is better. In this final week, you just keep going. You are consistent. Maybe you add 5 minutes to your walk. Maybe you add one more set to your chair squats. You are finishing the 30 days strong. Having built a new set of habits that are sustainable. This is the plan. This is the fastest way, because it's not a temporary diet. It's a 30-day retraining program for your metabolism. It respects your age, it works with your hormones, not against them, and it targets the specific, dangerous visceral fat that is robbing you of your health. It is not complicated, it is not expensive. But it does require commitment. It requires you to believe that it is not too late, that your body is not broken, and that you have the power to make a profound change. You can do this. You can feel better, stronger, and healthier at 65, 70, or 80 than you did at 50. It all starts with this 30-day plan. Now, I want to hear from you. This is a journey, and we are a community. In the comments below, I want you to share one thing. What is the one part of this 30-day plan that you are most excited to start? Or perhaps, the one part that you are most nervous about? Is it giving up the sugar? Is it starting the resistance training? Is it finally prioritizing your sleep? Share your thoughts below, and let's support each other. Thank you for your time and your attention. Let's get to work.